You can get it. Marvelous.
Welcome back, everybody, to the One Piece card game Paris, France Championship Finals. It's all come down to this. We started off yesterday morning with over 900 players. We are down to the final two. It's going to be Rob Lucci, no surprises there, against Nami. Big surprise there, though. Ben Fitzpatrick, Nathan Robertson alongside you, and Nathan, I mean, obviously we're not supposed to show support here, obviously in the caster's desk, but I think it's fair to say that rooting for the underdog in this matchup is going to be a theme and a sentiment, I think, for those tuning in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Nami's actually really good against Lucci, to be honest.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we're voting for the underdog, gotta vote for Lucci. But no, in terms of overall meta spread and matchup spread, yeah, Nami's definitely the underdog here. So, be excited to see this game finally get underway, crown the Paris champion. Obviously, the finals best of 3, but most importantly, untimed. So one of the issues with Nami in a best of 3 is sometimes you can't go with time, and the time rules aren't helpful to you. You're really fighting against the clock there. If the tiebreakers still go down to life, then deck size, you're probably not winning either of them. So being untimed here is really a big factor. I doubt we'll see it go more than an hour, but hey, I guess I'll wait to see if I'm proven wrong.
Well, we are underway in game number 1. We've obviously already seen ＪauⱠⱠ here in our semi-final feature match against Thor here in the Rob Lucci deck. Now, important to note here as well, as we see an 8k swing go into life, JauⱠⱠ immediately going to reply with that Rubber Band of Doom plus a Apis here. That one of these representatives, the Rob Lucci player Fork, is actually from the North American region. So in terms of one of those big prizes at the end of this championship event, that qualification for Worlds, JauⱠⱠ is already safe. JauⱠⱠ will earn his invite whether he wins here or not, according to the important information and the rules regarding World Championship qualifications. Players from other regions are obviously allowed and eligible to come and compete in the other regions' national championships and European events, but they will not be eligible for Worlds qualification if they get that far. So JauⱠⱠ, being from the European region, will earn his Worlds invite regardless of a win or loss here. But JauⱠⱠ, undoubtedly, I'm sure he will be playing to win. He'll be playing to put Nami on the European map.
100%, yeah. But I mean, having that safety net of like you're going to World regardless, which in and of itself is a huge achievement, will be a fantastic event to go to. You know, filled with great players, have the chance to compete to win even better prize. Just should take off a lot of nerves, right? You're just playing for glory here, really, and obviously the rest of the prize that first place gets exclusive to themselves. But I think the big ticket item is Worlds, honestly, and already having that secured is like fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see there, the Sanji's Pilaf from JauⱠⱠ. Now here comes Fork with his Jack, the first of this best of 3 set that will clean up the KOing of the Kayak. And Fork just immediately deciding to pass the turn there as well, not wanting to give any freedom for counter with only 0 Don left over. We're going to see 7k again here at life, which will be responded to by 3k's worth of counter, and nothing further from JauⱠⱠ as well.
Yep, entrancy here. Probably want Thulok to go a little bit wider with board before starting to push in for some damage, especially when JauⱠⱠ has what, 6 Don up there.
Yeah,
Really not really swinging in there.
So Lucci going on the first attack here, just a 6k, which which is going to get met with Desert Sparta. Javier will have a look at the top 3 of the deck. You can see it there, Margaret, Keela, and I think that is a Gavel there as well. So pretty good top 3, in all honesty.
Yeah, no, I think you're quite happy with that top 3. You know, you get a draw one, Margaret, and then obviously you've got Gavel and Keela as well.
So we're going to Rubber Band of Doom, going to mill away the Margaret, and then a Love Love Mellow to draw another one of those cards there from that top 3 stack. And so we'll respond with a Gecko Moria, bringing Rob Lucci and Helmeppo alongside it. And we didn't see any Morias get played down in Javier's semi-final matchup, obviously against the mono-black Luffy deck. We saw Isho as the big 8-drop of choice, but instead here before, I suppose you've got that trash filtration and allowance anyway with Rob Lucci, so Gecko Moria just a more valuable and valid target, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose right there, especially like when you're early and mid game there from Þłuဋ was like nothing too exciting. You played Who's Who, you played a Jack. The Moira on curve, well, I guess was on the going first curve, I think, 9 Dawn. Just able to fill up the board with like good attackers. You got 9k, and then you have the 4 cost 6k Rob Lucci. Again, just like good viable attackers to hit in. You got the Helmeppo as well, but that got easily attacked into by Nami.
Yeah, and you'll generally see when Nami does attack, I mean, I always say generally, Javier hasn't necessarily been playing a general Nami play type across the feature matches that we've seen him in. Undoubtedly the same to be said throughout this entire tournament, but the few times that Nami leader does tend to swing is when it's into those favourable trades into smaller characters that have either tried to extend by pushing into underneath the damage, or they need to rest for an ability of some description. So that's generally what we tend to see. So it's an easy trade there for Javier to be able to take. Looks like we are just seeing the Jack ability, having seen the Jack ability just activated there. Getting rid of the Margaret to clear the way for Moria to try and attack into with, but there is a Gum Giant Gavel. Does trash away a Kaya from the top of the deck, and then drawing in with White Snake to keep the attack safe with that plus 5k, 4 from the Gavel, the 1 extra from the White Snake. Rob Lucci attack, that is going to hit the 6k. Javier will take the damage, not activating any potential trigger. 6k again. Gavel again, trashing all stars and milling the top 2. Let's discard another Gavel this time though. Here comes 6k again. Keeping the trigger in hand, and a second Moria on its way down here. Þłuဋ.
Yeah, just opting to get the Kuzan there, which is equivalent to the Who's Who, being a 5k static body, but most importantly, draws your card on play. So Þłuဋ just really going wide here. Wide with good numbers, right? Your lowest is 5, highest is 9. You've got 2 9s and an 8. You should be feeling pretty confident.
And maybe especially confident as well when your opponent on Nami says, draw 2 Don, pass.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to do that though when you're facing down a board of 2 Morias. Can't really afford to waste any Dawn on Kayas or Pilafs.
There was that Gavel White Snake combination that we saw last turn. Now we're stepping it up to 10k. Again, giving that 5,000 power buffer to yourself. One more card drawn here with White Snake. And then the rest going to be for Love Love Mellow. So still keeping these attacks safe and still one by one drawing cards.
Yeah, 3 Dawn left as well. How to navigate this now, especially when Nami's on a 7k base. Still has a good number of cards left in the deck, though it's not too low. It's not in the single or low double digits of 10.
Well, we're getting close. It's 12 by my count. So we're definitely getting
12,
close. Now here comes just another 7. We've got a counter card, like a character counter in hand. This will be probably the best place to activate it. Instead, we're just going to flip Desert Sparta off the top of the life. jourd has been able to find those Desert Sparta triggers quite a few times in across the feature matches that we've seen, the semi-final and this final. Going to trash Margaret blocker away. Makes sense with it being a pretty easy target to be KO'd by Jack ability. And now we're going to put the rest of the Don underneath Lucci and attempt to swing. This is what? 12, 13 I think? This is Sparta. 12k.
Yeah.
And then taking the life as well there. Just wanted to get a little peek into the future with Desert Sparta.
I think that was the right play there. Don't want to particularly leave it for next turn in case you have, like, so we saw the Margaret's in hand, there could be Pilafs, like, you know, Granny there. You're spending Dawn on your turn to just have a look and filter rather than you know, holding the Dawn up for the next turn. Get the counter power from it. I think it's fine to look at top 3. See there, unfortunately, getting the Femur's a card at hand at least.
Yeah, gonna grab that Perfume Femur. Now here is the Sanji's Pilaf. That should be taking us down to 6 cards left in deck.
So probably Kaya time.
Yep, there is Kaya. In fact, it's only 3 now. There was 4. Missed the draw for turn. I think 3. Impel Down All Stars and Snake Dance is going to be taken. We've got, what, 4 more Don to work with, I believe? 4 or 5. jourduh just trying to count up, okay, how many Pilafs are gone, how many All Stars are gone to potentially hit one of those as that last life trigger.
I mean,
Pain
you should
3.
know what they are from Granny. You just looked at them to the bottom, so...
Yeah, well, we paid 3 for another Pilaf. So this should be a case of, if we've got at least 1 card in hand that is going to be able to track a card away, which we do.
Well, it's
and Yep, and Fork sees the writing on the wall and scoops it up. jourduh is going to be able to take game 1. It was the Usopp's rubber band of doom to reveal the Impel Down All-Stars there as the final card. So, in quick succession, just like he did in the feature semi-final match that he played, jourduh takes a very quick game 1 victory there, and it feels like that Fork did a lot right compared to the semi-final match up there with Daniel.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, you've got your bodies out, you've got big bodies too. Not much you can do, right? Nami's doing its thing. Good turbo at the end there with Pilaf, Kaya. And then I think there's 1 trigger I think we saw for the draw 2, just a Spada. I remember seeing anything else trigger-wise, so quite a fair game from Nami as well from the life perspective. So yeah, 1-0 up, best of 3 finals. See who can come back, win 2 in a row, or it's just going to be another quick victory for Nami.
Yeah, I mean, that final turn was certainly more typical of what we've seen Nami decks sort of become as of the OP08 and OP07 metas. They generally do have that real final first turn like we saw, not typically using those Sanji's Pilafs throughout the early stages of the game, but instead saving them till late on as best as we possibly can, filtering through with a combination of your Desert Spartas and drawing with White Snake and things like that to make sure you can try and hold on to Sanji's Pilafs until late on in the game where you can do exactly that. You can go Pilaf into Kaya into Pilaf into leaving 1 or 2 cards left in deck, pour Don open and saying, okay, over you go. As soon as you try and hit me, I'm losing these last 2 cards and I'm winning this game.
Yeah, it's that's the power of Nami. It does all its milling in the counter step, so you know Nami could have 0 life, you could swing in for 20, and they could just counter with Gavel. Yeah, it's only 4k, but practice 2's my deck, so I win before you get the lethal blow on me. See there, starting off game 2 with a Kaya. Perfect start there.
Yeah, straight away, just going for the aggression, obviously knowing that there's not going to be an attack on turn 1, so it just says, I'm just going to get this party started, as is Fort here, going to go with the Spandam Search, grabbing back that 2k Khalifa, and a Tempest Kick as well for a little bit of consistency, drawing that extra card. Over to ʤahuⱠⱠ we go, 3 Don active on this turn, and we're going to spend all of it for a Margaret blocker.
Yeah, quite a good there. You're only really facing down 1 attacker from ďahuⱠⱠ here, so you can easily just block rather than have to use any counter, any cards in hand, take the light. Again, ďahuⱠⱠ's also in no fear of any counter events happening, so easy swing there, don't worry about it. Yeah, what playing hand.
Easy exchange in that situation. We are playing down that Khalifa that we searched from the Spandam. So draw 2, crash 2, we're going to give that Kaya -2 cost. It won't matter, however, because there's nothing to follow up with for it. And I wonder if we can't find a way maybe to remove that Kaya. If there's a Snake Dance in hand, that could be really, really massive. If Fort decides he wants to try and attack here. Here is the Sabo to draw 2 and trash 2, trying to quickly get his way up to, like he did last game, those higher end threats and start playing more of them. ďahuⱠⱠ is just going to say, you know what, I'm too concerned about the possibility of a Snake Dance or anything else coming my way. I'm just going to pass the turn here. He gets met with a Sanji's Pilaf. And another one. No, it's another Margaret blocker. But still another 3 cards that are gone from the deck. 4 if you count the draw for turn.
Yeah. Quite solid start here. You're not really in any fear. ďahuⱠⱠ doesn't have that explosive start we saw last time.
But there's the Jack.
Here's the Jack.
Yeah, there's the Jack to be able to rest 1, or rest itself, draw 1 and trash 1. And we're going to get rid of the Margaret blocker. I suppose there's just 1 Don active. We're not in any fear of a Snake Dance here. But there is still potentially counter events. We're going to counter 1k with the Daz Bones. And then another one with Gloriosa. Barbo will swing Desert Sparta. Stack the top 3. And see what ʤahuⱠⱠ is drawing into in the next turn.
Yep. Good turn there for ďahuⱠⱠ. Just get nice pokes in, try and whittle down the hand best you can, and also just get established in the Jack, which is important. Especially because Jack instantly comes down and answers 1 thing, and then every turn after that you can, swing for 8, put a Don on, swing for 9 if you want, or if you mark it there, defeat it if you wanted, or the Kayas stick around and can get Snake Dance back.
So we saw Gloriosa there, searching out the Love Mellow, the Kuja Pirates event. Keeping an eye out for that later on in the game, undoubtedly, maybe even coming into this turn for ďahuⱠⱠ. And another Sanji's Pilaf, immediately drawing 2 more cards. I think that's what, two Sanji's Pilafs at least that we've seen already this game? Potentially.
Yeah, they're
3.
right. I think it's just be 2, but could be more. I've got the full 10 Don to work with here, but board isn't as good. You've got Jack, Sabo, which are nice stats, but I guess we're just gonna filter here.
Yeah, not going to use that Jack to attack here this turn. We are now taking care of that Kaya to prevent any potential Snake Dance shenanigans.
Did see a Moria get drawn though.
And it's been played. Yep, and the Gecko Moria comes down as well. Going to grab the Kuzan, play it over the Spandam. No 2-drop or less to come alongside with it. Why would you in this matchup on a board state like this? And ďahuⱠⱠ is now just going to pass the turn back over to ＪahuⱠⱠ as well. definitely cautious here in this game too. Doesn't want to offer any free attacks here potentially. We can see Appy's search. Snake Dance does get trashed for the Appy's search cost, so there was an option potentially for jourdu่. Had to get rid of the Kaya, but one's getting searched right back out. And is going to get played down as well.
Yeah, only 2 done there as well. This search, go through 3 cards of the deck. Quite good efficiency there. We'll see what gets discarded.
Yeah, the Snake Dance number 2 is the call for the first one. A little bit more deliberation on the second, but decides to get rid of a copy of Usopp's Rubber Band of Doom. Still left up with 8 Don going into Fuok's turn here, and this is the situation, this is the place where you'll start to see that Don more and more getting left open as Fuok decides to amass a greater amount of characters on his side of the board. Here is Rubber Band plus Snake Dance to not only get 2 more cards out of jourdu่'s deck, but also give that static plus 1000 power boost for the rest of Fuok's turn here.
Yep, so that really good here, especially when Khalifa's on board. Only a 4 cost 4k. The White Snake really doing its worth, I think. I'm going to go more or less swinging for 10, get that magic threshold, that 5k worth of counter. See an Earth, White Snake, well just, yeah, hell.
Very nice. Very, very nice there. And now we talk about obviously the sequencing, such an important aspect of the One Piece card game, but even more so in a deck like Nami. You've got to make sure that you're hitting your events and playing them in the right order to get the maximum potential value off of them, because if you play the Love Love Mellow first in that scenario, you don't get the extra 1 card out of the deck. Only now are we starting to see jourdu่ take some damage here with 1 Don left open. There should be 20 cards left in deck. Make that 18 now with an Impel Down All-Stars trigger as the second card from life. And then take another damage as well. Really starting to pile on the pressure a little bit here is Fuok as these swings start adding up.
Yep, definitely the turn to do so. And only 1 Don left, swinging in for 9. To take it as well. Gonna trigger Snake Dance.
Yeah, Snake Dance trigger is going to bounce away. One of the characters on board with a cost of 5 or less. It looked like it was the Sabo that was bounced.
Yep.
I think was that a
1 left, good attacker next turn.
So, jourdu่ going to have a count in deck. There should be, I believe, 17 cards. I think that should be left. Now, 15 with that Kaya that was bounced back thanks to the Snake Dance trigger. Discarding Perfume Beamer and Margaret for cost. It's going to be difficult here now for jourdu่ to try and turbo through a large majority of this deck. We see 5 go into 4. Now it's a double Sabo blocker to keep that Khalifa around. Might only be a 4k body right now, but you saw there on that last turn with Fuok, he put 3 Don underneath, even with the plus 2k boost from the double White Snake. And the attack still ended up being allowed through. But you see there, that is a lot of cards in hand, and it's a lot of dangerous cards in hand there for jourdu่. It's just going to be about whether he decides at what point he decides to deploy them all and go. It's not going to be this turn. He is going to elect to pass over to Fuok with 1 life remaining and 9 Don available.
Yep, I think with the double White Snake, you don't want to be cast Pilaf that you had in hand, right? Don't want to use 3 or 9 Don. Only have 6 left. If ideally you're going to do what you did last turn, spend 4 for double White Snake, then you're only going to have 2 left after that. ideal. So, and obviously you don't want to Pilaf in this support state anyway, because you're not close to turboing out the game, doing what we saw last game, but Pilaf, Kaya, pass, Usopp Bantu, Milk, Zero, win. You know, you're a good turn away and of using counter events, so we'll probably see that next turn if Þłuဋ can cinch it here. That deck is getting smaller and smaller. Nami's victory just keeps creeping closer and closer.
It's going to be dangerous here. This is the turn that is going to either crown ＪaviŌĆ� as the winner of the French Championship Finals, or is going to put this to a game 3, I feel. Because with the characters that you've got on board for Þłuဋ's side, you've got that Moria, you've got Jack, you've got Kuzan as well, that's undoubtedly going to attack. We've already seen a considerable amount of events being played. Here comes the first here comes the Moria. We are going to use that White Snake. And I think that was a Gavel as well to combine with it. So that's an extra 3 cards gone. And that static 1k comes back for Nami. Could be 12 cards left in deck. In fact, it looks like it might be 11 there from indication on the dice. Always does sometimes happen. You just occasionally have that 1 or 2 out when counting.
Yep, no, that's very hard to do it remotely, especially when players play so fast. So their deck, of course, not be playing fast. Definitely tricky.
But here's an interesting, here's an interesting one. Here's an 8k swing from just Jack. Now should be what, 10, and we are going to counter away with Kaya as well. Exasperation on the face of Þłuဋ here, knowing that there's still 4 Don remaining and 1 life to try and get through. 6 cards left in hand. Þłuဋ does play Isho, then playing it down, he's got the chance to tear 2 of them away. We're going to go 9 again into the 7k leader of Nami, so just needs 3,000 to bring this safe. How about 4, says ＪaviŌĆ�, with the Gum Gum Giant Gavel. Trash another Gavel and a Sparta. And a, 11k. The rest of the Don underneath. Take the life. You might as well. It's the last attack that's going to be present on board. And now, ＪaviŌĆ�, with what could potentially be this final turn. Well, I said that this turn was either going to crown him champion or going to send us to a game 3. I think that this might just do it. ＪaviŌĆ� is going to just take a little bit of stock, figure out what's already gone.
Yep, well, doesn't know what's there now, right? Well, I should know the bottom 4 anyway from the granny.
Yeah.
But just in a little count out, obviously, able to do this without any fear of being judged because it's untimed. In terms of like actually counting out playsets like this.
Yeah.
Also, it's good for us to see as audience.
Yeah, I was about to say this is really interesting to like visually see it in this representation. Of what ＪaviŌĆ� is thinking and what he's looking for. There is the Kaya to bring it down to 5 cards left in deck, trashing Appies and a Margaret blocker. 3.
Pilaf.
This is Pilaf. This is 3 cards left in deck. Is this it? Is this the moment when Nami finally wins an in-person event in the European region? 1 card left in deck. This is gonna do it. It's hanger. It's all over. Nami, on one of the grandest stages in the European region, wins at the French National Championships. Wow, what a ride.
Yeah, what a game. You know, not dropping a game there. Really good showing. It's just it was hard there for Þłuဋ having to play the Khalifa to get body out. 4k base just isn't that good. But yeah, Nami winning the finals. So that is going to Worlds. Was going to go Worlds anyway. Now he's earned it. Now earned it. No haters can say he got it handed down or whatever. Earned it.
Wow.
What a game.
Wow, what an incredible game, what an incredible run as well for jourdäu:Ō. I mean, it wasn't made easy for him as well, especially that game 1. That was very, very difficult. He faced, what, double Moria, Jack in with attacks as well, hitting that magic 9k and beyond number, trying to get that 5k buffer to force 2 counter events out from hand and demanding that one of them had to be a plus 4k event. And the second game didn't start out as simply as jourdäu:ö would have been hoping for either, but in the end just had enough there to have that final explosive turn, get rid of the rest of the cards left in deck, and become your champion for Paris, France. I mean, that is... I certainly would not have expected that to end off this tournament when we started at, 9 o'clock European time yesterday morning.
Yeah, definitely not. Wasn't expecting a Nami win, but exciting to see, you know. Nami still got legs this format, and then soon obviously we'll be going into 8.5 with some starter decks coming out soon. Might shake up a little bit.
Absolutely. Also, we've got to crown our congratulations to jourdäu:ö there. A very, very worthy runner-up for this tournament. Obviously, playing Rob Lucci, it is a difficult deck to try and play. There are a few different interesting micro decisions. We've seen that throughout the weekend, that you can play Rob Lucci, you can play one of the best decks in the format, in the room, but there is still an art to playing it to its highest potential, and you've got to in order to get to a grand final of a major tournament like this.
100%, yeah. Really well played, especially coming over from North American region, right? Nice to see, you know, what I think I go back home to say, you know, came second in the Paris European finals. Yeah, it's just overall really good. Really happy. Congrats to both players there, especially our champ.
Absolutely. Well, with the crowning of our champion, that is going to do it for our coverage from the European Championship Finals of France. But we've still got one more European Championships to come in just 2 weeks' time, live from Italy and live right here on this broadcast channel on Twitch. So make sure that you are following along to not miss out on a moment of the action to cap off what has been a fantastic trilogy of European Championships so far. That is it then. A massive thank you to all of our players that came alongside and played down over in Paris. A massive thank you to our judging team, to our wonderful stream coordinator Burak, for putting all of the broadcasts together and making us look and sound as good as we possibly can. Thank you to my co-caster Nathan as well. Any final words before we say goodbye?